So hopefully you're able to see this. It's your code. So here's what I'm talking about when the missing, like they're called curly brackets, right? And you're not the only one. We've all got problems with this. And I'm going to show you how to sort of fix this for yourself. So let's reset that run. We'll run it here. This is the error you're getting, right? So we'll reset that. And let's just go ahead and start from the top, because we've also got a problem with the functions and stuff. So this, I turned it red somehow. I fixed it. Function start, that's making a function, and it's got an opening curly bracket. Then we have a beautiful little for loop with an opening curly bracket. Then we have a while loop with an opening curly bracket. Then we have an if loop with an opening curly bracket. Let's count from here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 opening curly brackets, no closing curly brackets so far. Then we have a function being defined. Now, I don't know right here if this is what we want, but I know that it's not going to work if we have another function inside of this function. So I'm going to put some closing brackets. I'm just going to close them all up right here at the end. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is closing. And actually, we can see this now too. If we select this one, put our mouse right next to it, we can see up here, this one gets sort of like a border. And if we click this one, it gets a border here, and this one gets a border there, and this one gets a border there. This is great. I mean, it's still a little confusing because we got 4 of them here, and like it's not really lined up, and all this stuff is yellow. So actually, let's go ahead and start making some of this, make just a little bit cleaner. And we're going to use tabs to do that. So every time we open a curly bracket, we're going to tab over so that it kind of indents. And then by indenting things, we'll be able to more cleanly, this should be tabbed over, and these should be inside of that. And now, again, all I've done is added these 4 and tabbed into stuff. So this is all the same code that you wrote. This is all the same stuff, okay? I've just ended these, and it's probably not going to work the way that we think that it ought to work, but it's going to do something at least. And by tabbing over, we can now see this function start is here, and it ends here. It goes right down. This for loop is here. Everything inside of this, it's in. It's like tabbed inside of it. And same with this while loop. Starts right here. It's inside of the for loop. And everything inside of that while loop is tabbed in. Same with this if. These things are inside of that if. And that's why we tab things in. So this is all happy. It's not complaining about the yellows. Let's go ahead and look at this function. We've got an opening here. We don't have a closing, and it's kind of like tabbed in when it doesn't need to be. So let's go ahead and give this a closing one. Okay, and then let's go ahead and if we move everything together, we can actually shift tab, and that'll pull it all back one tab space. And so now we've got our function at the beginning, or at the first portion here, and everything inside that function's tabbed in. And we can do a similar thing. So this one's got an opening, and we finally have a closing one, so that's good. So let's go ahead and tab that all back. And this is kind of twice in, and we don't need it that far in. So let's go ahead and select it all. And I'm just using the shift and the tab button, and it's moving it all at the same time. And now all of our yellow is gone, and it's a lot easier to read, right? We can tell, oh, that's an opening, and it's on this spot, so straight down, that's the closing. We could give ourselves a little bit of space here if we want. And this stuff right here is inside because it's tabbed inside of that function checkerboard. Okay, so again, I haven't really done anything. I've added these 4 little closing brackets, and I've tabbed some things over so that it looks a little easier to read, to know what we're talking about. Let's run it. And this is gonna be a for loop. It's gonna do some weird stuff here, I'm thinking. Yeah, it looks like, okay, and then it's probably gonna run into, yeah, okay. That's okay though, because it's fine. I think as I'm looking at this, maybe we wanted just that line. Let's reset this so it doesn't look weird, right? Maybe you want just that checkerboard line to be in the for loop, right? So let's close that there. And now, of course, this is closed, so we have to get rid of that closing one. And you can see, oh, also this is all tabbed over and it doesn't need to be. Okay, so now this is, again, I've just moved one of those closing brackets up a little. Okay, this is all still inside the function start because it's all still over here. And this for loop and this while loop are at the same level because the while loop isn't inside of the for loop. It's coming when the for loop is done, then it does the while loop. Okay, so now let's double check here. Our for, we got our variable I equals 0. It's going to go until it's 4, so we're starting at 4. Or actually, we're starting at 0 and we're counting to 4. So that's actually going to do it 5 times. That might be too many. But all it's going to do is call checkerboard, and checkerboard's going to put a black one and a red one, and it's going to move. So let's go ahead and check. So let's go ahead and check it. And right down here, we can see what our value of I is. It's 0 right now, and now it's 1. And it's moving. This is doing great. And now it's 2. That's fantastic. And here it is at 3. Okay, and we just got hit by 3. So let's actually, instead of waiting until it's less than, because 3 is still less than 5 and 4 is still less than 5. So let's change that to 4. And then we won't have that loop try and happen the next time. So let's reset that. Let's go for it. Black and red, move. Black, red, move. Checkerboard, black, move, red, move. Checkerboard, black, move, red, move. Okay, oh, you know what? He still kind of ran into a wall right there at the end. But once this finishes it here, that will be 4, and it will not do the loop again. So that's good. But he ran into a wall. So let's, and I'm going to add a little bit. We're going to do an if statement down here. And you've got this same if statement right here. If front is clear, if front is clear. We're just going to put that one, if front is clear. And then, of course, we need, I've just opened up a new curly bracket. So we're going to come down here, we're going to close it, and we're going to tab this over. So now it's nice and clear, right? We'll reset that. We're going to go a little bit quicker this time. And I'm going to pause it. If you click on the number here and it turns orange, the code will stop when it gets there. I just want to see if this for loop is working and not get confused by the rest of this yet. So all I've done here is on that very last loop, it's been getting hit on this wall. And this is going to stop it from getting hit on that wall, and it's just going to sit there. Okay, let's try it. So here it is, it's moving, and then of course it's moving, and it's moving again. Okay, well that's interesting. We've got a different sort of 8 is not the proper color, but that's because our program has stopped, but we don't have all of the checkerboard completed. So this code is actually just saying we're not done with our program yet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get rid of that little 5. We're going to restart this, and we're going to see what happens when we let it go through the while loop here. I don't know what's going to happen when we go through the while loop. And it broke. And because our front is not clear, it's not going to go into that while loop at all, and it's going to just stop. So I hope that helps. I hope keeping these in line. So this function start ends here, right? Hope keeping those in line will help you. So now all you need to do, you've got one row all done right there. We just need to do 8 more rows. Have fun.